I see you got them snakes and sparklers, but where's the good stuff, man?
Good stuff. This is the good stuff. Snakes and sparklers.
Are you nuts, dude? You need stuff that'll explode, go boom.
Why is that good?
So you're gonna tell me that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles or screaming mimes?
No.
Oh, come on, man. You don't got no lady fingers, fuzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, gut busters, zippity doo-dahs, or crap flappers?
No, I don't.
You're gonna stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, Husker do's, Husker don'ts, cherry bombs, nipsy daisers, with or without the scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser?
No. Snakes and sparklers are the only ones I like.
TBTL.
How many hot dogs do you have for lunch?
3.
Well, there's your problem. You're starving. Your body's literally eating itself.
You have to be it so we don't see it. You have to live it or we won't forgive it. You have to inhabit it or leave it in the cabinet.
It's a P-A-R-T-Y because I said so.
Hey, everybody stand by. Here we go again.
All right. Hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Tuesday edition of TBTL, the show that just might be too beautiful to live.
This is special. This is special.
My name is Luke Burbank. I am your host.
I'm an activist and house party enthusiast.
Coming to you once again from my actual parents' actual basement.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Here on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone.
There's an explosion in my mouth. It's like, holy Toledo.
But more critically, it's also day 2 of the TBTL-a-Thon. It's really TBTL Independence Week, where we are reminding all of you that we are 100% listener supported. And we are hoping that you will take a moment to head over to tbtl.net and make a donation of any amount that works for you to help us keep this entire thing going, because we would like to get to keep doing this for our job, and we'd like to get paid for that job.
Do you seriously believe that having money automatically brings you happiness?
Oh, no, but it doesn't automatically depress me either.
We have arrived at episode 3,980 in a collector's series.
Let the fun begin.
And once again today, we will be taking live phone calls right here in my parents' basement.
Ahoy, hoy.
Phone number 206-414-TBTL, 206-414-8285 if you'd like to get a hold of us. And we do have some top stories as well, including the ways that you need to be extra careful here on this 4th of July to not accidentally make something that people interpret as some sort of bomb threat. Obviously. And it's hot and dry out there, and there is a wildfire that is burning along the gorge on the boundary of Oregon and Washington. And the conversation around that fire and what direction it might go in is tearing my family apart and tearing the Hawk Squad text chain apart as well.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
So we'll get into that. Oh, and also, because it's 4th of July and because we're monthly readers of Reader's Digest, we will bring you Reader's Digest list of the best holiday snacks in every state in America.
Holy shit, snacks!
So that's coming up. Oh, and we're going to talk to this guy. He is the longest-running Cobra of the show, maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships. He goes by many names. Todd Stout, Jeep Andrew.
You think you're tough. You're trying to show me you're tough. I believe you. I believe you're so tough.
And he is joining me right now from just next to me in this table. Hello, my friend.
Hey, Luke. How's everything sound? Everything
sounding
okay?
good to me.
All right, good. All right, I'm in my head a little bit.
I went back and watched some of the YouTube video from yesterday. It didn't occur to me that because we're streaming this live on YouTube and at tbtl.net, that then there would actually be like a video file, and then I could, as I did, go back and watch us. And I thought it actually, like, you know, all things being equal, again, it's all we can do is be the people that we are and look the way that we look. But
which in my case is super hunky.
Exactly. You know, you've been working on your beef castle. But no, I actually thought that like the lighting looked pretty good. Considering we're in my parents' basement,
sure.
I was pretty happy with how yesterday's video looked. So and sounded as well. So I think everything Has your computer shut off yet?
No, the computer is not shut off
that's
yet.
a win.
That'll be. I installed some new drivers yesterday.
I know you
don't
did.
know what's going to happen there. But hey, speaking of lighting, can we just take a moment to talk about that moon last night?
My goodness.
That was, I'm going to say it, romantic.
And I believe what you said, Andrew, as you came back into the Airbnb. Well, first of all, I noticed that I had a bunch of texts from you saying, "Where are you?" You were trying to text me to get me to come down
that was
to the yard.
That was to John. I think John was like, the moon's out.
Oh,
We're just
John
like,
was asking me
we're
where.
like, I know. Where are you?
You guys were out in the yard moon gazing, and then I believe you came up, Andrew, and you said, "I'm not even the kind of person who does this, but you gotta come see the moon."
You're in the kitchen making cheese and crackers, and I'm I was because we knew that the moon the night before was almost a full moon. It was ridiculously large in the sky, and then you had read that it was going to be even bigger last night,
and apparently 14,000 miles closer, which, as we talked about last night, doesn't seem like a lot considering how far away the moon is.
Yeah, in moon miles, that doesn't seem
Actually, you know what, though? Moon miles, that might mean something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like...
It's not Saturn miles.
It's not Saturn miles.
Yeah.
It's not Jupiter miles. It's not even the sun. The moon is... I mean, 14,000 miles might actually... be a sort of notable difference.
I hope listener Summer is taking notes here. Our resident
astronomer.
I almost said astrologist. I need to back out of that joke before I make it work.
We do need to get a resident astrologist, though, if we
that
can.
would be actually really cool. Anyway, so then last night you came outside and you're like, huh, no moon. It must be too much cloud cover. We couldn't see a moon at all. And so then we were all kind of like putting around doing our own thing. And then about a half hour later, me and John are standing outside. And all of a sudden I'm like, what is that little bit of light coming up over the trees over there? I thought it was like maybe like the roof of a casino or something. And then suddenly I realized, oh no, that is just the very beginning edge of a giant red moon. And we watched the moon rise throughout the night. It was honestly one of the most magical things I had seen.
It was a wonderful, wonderful little thing for the three of us to get to share. Speaking of the third amigo in this triumvirate, let's also introduce our VP of Revenue and Operations and resident New York Knicks fun fact knower, John Sklarov.
You and I are showmates, dude.
Hello, my friend.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, you guys were talking.
We went deep on the career of Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate. And, Andrew, you said something very sweet. I don't know if you stand by this because, we'd all been kind of celebrating day one of the Thon going okay and just kind of enjoying ourselves. As John and I were getting very deep into the weeds on various NBA players, including the one-time Sacramento Kings point guard Jason Williams, you just said, I could listen to this all night.
No, it's true. I'm sitting there like staring at the
so
moon,
flattering.
listening to you two just like ping pong back and forth. Like, well, he went to Stanford. Well, he went to, and like you guys are just like naming players from like the past 3 decades of, I guess, NBA basketball, and then every player that comes up, you guys would then say to each other, try to say faster than the other one, like their entire CV. And I don't think they're called CVs in basketball. I'm not a basketball guy. Like what school they went to, what high school they went to, and oh, they're the ones who got in trouble because they were fighting with so and so, and like it was like listening to my podcast because a lot of that goes over my head too, and I'm just staring.
Now, when
at
you
the
say
moon.
your podcast, you mean the ones you like to listen to. You don't mean this one,
not my podcast,
which is also your podcast.
Although it was like listening to this podcast because I was listening to you and John talk. But like like some of my sports podcasts, I enjoy the banter, but or the patter. But sometimes I don't know what they're talking about. But that's okay. I can just stare at the moon and let it wash over me. I really had a good time hanging out with you guys last night.
Now, John, I hope, because again, I was a little into my cups last night. I hope that I didn't come off as trying to constantly like either one up you or try to, because I get into that mode I love talking about, even though I don't currently follow basketball very closely because Seattle doesn't have a team. If we're talking 20 years ago basketball, that was one of the main centerpieces of my life. So I hope I wasn't being insufferable last night as we all watched that beautiful moonrise.
No, I felt similarly that we were both insufferable for Andrew until he made that very loving comment about like being able to listen to us just bro down over Allen Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue.
The answer, practice. We're talking about practice.
I loved the pattern. I loved the conversation. Did anybody point out last night that the moon actually looked like a giant basketball? Did we say that? I can't remember because it was a giant red ball.
Maybe
in the
that's
sky.
what started the whole conversation.
Maybe, yeah.
There was another moment in the night, and we have a lot to get to today. By the way, I think we've already got callers calling in. We'll put you on hold, and we'll get to you when we get a chance. But there was a moment, Andrew, where I observed you in real time deciding to just take the path of less resistance with me, and it was when the neighbors were shooting off fireworks. And I came out, and there's, this Airbnb we're renting has kind of a little balcony off the back of it, and then you go down sort of some winding stairs down to where the yard is. And I was very convinced. I don't know. This is not the hill I want to die on. But they were shooting off, the neighbors were shooting off like some fireworks, like what I call mortars. The kind that, they're in that tube, that cardboard tube, and you light it and they go up pretty high in the sky and they do kind of a big explosion.
Oh, yes.
And
yes. I know what you're getting at
and
here,
while I was in the house, the first one went off. And it felt to me like the mortar had only gone up like maybe 40 or 50 feet. Like it exploded in a way that rattled the windows of our Airbnb, lit the whole place up, and had my ears kind of ringing. And my thought was, I think it's supposed to go higher than that. And then I came out and I was standing on the balcony saying, that's messed up, man. That's not going high enough. And you were saying, no, it's going the height it's supposed to go. And I was like, I don't think so, man. And then I was like, no, definitely it's not. Because then they shot another one off. And then you were like, yeah, I forget exactly what you said, but I could just see that you were like, this is not an argument we need to have right now.
Oh, yeah.
But what I think was,
I didn't think about it that intently. I mean, they seemed normal to me. I also sort of thought like there's a giant, is it a cedar tree you were talking about?
Yes.
I think that they seem somewhat dwarfed by that. And the place we're staying is sort of on an incline. So it seemed normal to me. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
But I was standing on the balcony.
Yeah.
I think there was also a 20-foot, maybe a 10-foot height difference between, because you were in the yard and I was on the balcony. I'm saying I think we were looking at the fireworks from different levels. So I just wanted to make sure, in case last night you were like, this guy, I wanted to say, I'm not saying you were wrong. Then maybe the fireworks were going up to the correct height, but maybe just because I was standing up on that balcony, it seemed low to me.
I do remember that conversation. I didn't give it a second thought. I wasn't
done
having
nothing but think about it for the last 20 hours.
I was not having any feelings about that. I mean, they seem normal to me, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I used to blow off a lot of stuff like that when we lived in New Hampshire because I was what they call a good neighbor.
Yes.
And that was our good neighbor policy and promise. We will wake you at
like
3
a good neighbor. Andrew is there.
We had other neighbors who would get together and have these big parties where they would blow off like real fireworks, something I didn't have the opportunity to do much in my life. And so once I realized, this is a neighborhood that allows it, on a 4th of July or two, I went to kind of like around here, like some huge fireworks store in New Hampshire. There's no regulation there. I don't think it's because of native land so much as it's just like live free or die territory. So we would come back with like these big boxes full of like, it looked like 24, 30, like a grid of rockets that would go in there. We'd blow those off. And that was tons of fun. I'm like, we were in a small little neighborhood, but everybody seemed kind of cool with it because they were doing it as well. But then I have this sort of cringy memory of then taking that a little bit too far and then doing it on nights that we were just having random summer parties and not everybody was doing it. I was like, we're all cool. And then waking up the next day with like so much regret as I'm picking up these mortars and thinking about the Burnhams who lived next door to us, this sweet, sweet older couple who never complained and plowed our driveway for us. And I was just like, what did I do
and
last night?
And you're talking like an August night. This is not Independence Day.
As Neil Diamond would say, hot August nights, just like blowing them off like the extras. So anyway, the point is, I'm not saying that I'm definitely right about those fireworks last night. I just don't care that much. They seemed normal to me, and I do think that the giant tree was sort of dwarfing them. But
I'm just hoping that tonight, because we're gonna have a little BBQ. In fact, Susie and Walt are coming over and are going to be hanging out with us. Vives is making the trip out, and we're going to have a little get together. And then I guess the plan is we're going to go look at some local fireworks, like the city of Kingston, Washington is doing. But then I'm really hoping that the neighbors around the Airbnb, and not just our immediate neighbors, but all around the area, I'm hoping that they shoot off a lot of fireworks. Now, I know fireworks are controversial. We have a lot of listeners who have pets, and the pets have a lot of anxiety. I'm not trying to elide that or be glib, but I have to say, like, we are so strictly and clearly prohibited from messing with fireworks by the contract of the Airbnb. It's literally the only thing that the people. You were reading the thing the other night, John, right? Like, the only rule they have is no fireworks. Everything else they're pretty chill about.
Yeah, it seemed pretty reasonable, especially compared to like Denver's Airbnb.
It was the opposite, right?
Or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, super chill. Super
I love
chill.
it. They just say, "Hey, listen, things break, accidents happen." I broke a glass. I broke a glass this morning.
Andrew,
I broke a wine glass.
Why are you putting that on the record?
Well, like you.
And why were you drinking wine at 7 this morning?
It was last night's glass.
Did you get caught in Charlie Brown's pants?
I'm scared how much I like wine, how much I need wine. What was I going to say? But yeah, the Airbnb seems chill. TBTL, I just want to say kind of the same thing as you. Like, I understand, like, growing up out in the country, the idea of fireworks being problematic just was never a conversation we had. Like the idea of, I think people, I'm sure that there were dogs who cowered back in the 1980s in Valley City, Ohio, but it just was not something we talked about.
Right.
I think people are more conscientious about that now. More people are talking about that. So I realize that fireworks are not good for everybody. And because of that, I do not light off fireworks
Exactly.
myself.
But if our neighbors want to,
but I was
and
telling
we
you
get
in the
some
car,
free
like,
looks.
I can't pretend. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not aiding it. I'm not abetting it. But if it happens around me, I can't pretend to be outraged about it because I kind of still get a kick out of it. Even today, like outside, I'm hearing like booms off in the distance, and it gives me a little thrill.
Now, you do need to be careful though, because obviously this is a day where there's all kinds of explosions, and people just might be a bit on edge. I heard a news story this morning out of Kansas that I wanted to play for both of you, just as a bit of a cautionary tale.
Is this the tape that you left the basement, went outside and pulled because you wanted to keep it secret?
It's about a
from
bomb
me and
threat at a
John?
Home Depot, and I just wanted you to hear how wrong things go. And I want it to be a cautionary tale for everyone listening here on this TBTL Independence Day.
Scary moments for customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting.
I like that.
Depot says they will not be pressing charges.
I like that the news anchor was herself figuring out why this was funny as she was reading the copy. I also like that Home Depot did not, obviously try to charge the guy with anything. I am curious.
That's years old, though. You know that, right?
Probably.
Yeah,
I was,
okay,
I
love the tape.
I had never seen that before.
Yeah,
I
thought we talked about it on the show, but yeah, that tape's been kicking around for a while. But yeah, that's wonderful.
What I want, and maybe if this has come up on the show before, maybe I said the same thing, but like, can you imagine being in a Home Depot bathroom and some presumably sort of like working guy comes in and says, "Hey, y'all might want to get out of here. I'm fixing to blow this place up." Can you imagine interpreting that in any other context than he's going to drop a pretty major deuce?
Well, he made a mistake. I mean, it's Home Depot. He should have said, "I'm going to give it a real paint job." And that
right?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Seems like
I did aid and abet that joke. My apologies. That's worse than fireworks.
I will tell you though that I am a real appreciator of a Home Depot bathroom.
I don't think I've had the pleasure.
I'm telling you, there's just something about being at Home Depot. I don't know, like, a lot of people say when they're in like a Barnes & Noble, it stimulates something.
Oh, definitely for me. I could paint you a picture of a Barnes & Noble bathroom.
Part of it is that because of this remodeling project I've been doing, I have found myself often at Home Depot on a Saturday, and who knows, like, how many pizzas I ate the night before, and like, your stomach starts to feel a little bit of discomfort. I've even just been out driving around. I was actually, Sklarov, I was in your old territory. I was somewhere in like Westchester County.
Oh, yeah?
A while. I was leaving Yonkers.
Yeah,
That's near where you grew up, right?
Like 15, 20 minutes away from me. It's an aunt and uncle that lived in Yonkers.
I was out there. I was like Neil Simon. I was lost in Yonkers, and my stomach was not feeling super great, and I saw a Home Depot like a beacon on a hill. Because the thing is, the Home Depot bathroom, first of all, it's in the way back of the store. Mm-hmm. So there's like, I wouldn't say privacy, but it's just like, it's nice. It's like you don't have to go, like everyone's not waiting in line and then watching you go into the bathroom and then noting how long you were in there. Like it's nice and sort of privately positioned in the far back of the store. Sometimes it's a single like person, use one. It's like you could actually lock the door. Like you just, a person can go in and shut the door and have the whole thing to themselves. I mean, that's chef's kiss. But even the ones that are, for multiple people to use, the stalls are decent. And also, it feels like the kind of place where if you're, as this guy was, if you're really going to blow the place up, you're amongst friends. You're amongst a lot of people in work boots, a lot of people covered in plaster and paint. And
it's where poopers get more done.
A show title?
Probably not.
It feels, it's not like you went in a Starbucks bathroom and did a real paint job. Yeah. It's like you went into a place where the other people, and for me, I'd be in the men's bathroom, the other guys coming in, no one is like, No one's standing on ceremony.
Right, no.
They're all like everyone's operating on 6 gallons of black coffee from the AM PM. They've probably smoked like 5 heaters.
And there's nothing you can do to that bathroom that they don't have the tools to fix. Like they have those snakes that are attached
plug
to
a bathroom
drill.
up, that's the one to do it.
Yeah,
so.
you're in good hands. I also get the impression that they would be pretty clean. It seems like a pretty clean place. And let me ask you this. This always gives me feelings. I don't know exactly how to describe the feelings, but when you're going to use a restroom in a place like that, are you also often passing the employee break room and seeing like sort of the motivational posters on the wall or the employee of the month thing?
Depending on the layout.
I cannot help but to sort of think like, what would it be like? Because I've worked in places that have lunchrooms sort of like that before, like at the fiberglass factory. And I always sort of think like, oh, I just can't help but to fantasize what just an average employee's day is like when they're like sitting in that break room waiting for their shift to begin.
You know who had a ton of those kinds of posters, although I don't remember any of them. What they said specifically was that Red Robin we went to.
Oh,
like
I didn't
you could
see
into, because like Red Robin is a place that the culture there is very much about, like, as we learned, great customer service and like, you know.
And all the sauces.
All the sauces, great customer service. It's probably going to be somebody's birthday. They're going to sing that like royalty-free birthday song. You know, they don't sing the happy birthday song. They sing happy, happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy, happy birthday.
Is that the Red Robin one specifically?
That is at least the ones that I grew up with. But they had a lot of those kind of posters that were just like about making every customer's experience like amazing. And it's like, it's sort of like when you, what is it? Play like a champion today. Is that Notre Dame?
Yeah, where they tap it on the
They
way
tap
out
it
to the,
on the way out to the field. It's just like, you know, Red Robin like a champion today. Lots of motivational stuff. Okay, so that's
Sing like a bird.
That's a little update on what happened 4 years ago at a Red Robin in Kansas. Now here's an update on something that happened more recently, as in this morning in my very family's text chain. So this is actually a fairly serious story that leads into some fairly typical Burbank internecine roasting / whatever. So there is a fire, currently a wildfire, that is burning an area of the gorge, which is where the Columbia River kind of sort of cuts between the state of Oregon and the state of Washington, if you're listening to this or watching from somewhere else. And some of my family, my sister Liz and her wonderful family, they live on the Washington side in a fairly wooded area, in a very beautiful home that they just built pretty much by hand by themselves. And we're all pretty concerned because this fire it's not right near where they are, but it's too close for comfort. You know, it's like, it's the kind of thing that we're all sort of on high alert for. And
it's
so
really scary. You've been sharing photos with me and the details of this, and like in all seriousness.
Yes,
this is very serious, and I feel for the fam.
So I was checking in on Hawk Squad this morning with my sister and asking her kind of what the latest is, and she was laying it out there. And it's the kind of thing where I feel like there's really very little I can do other than try to send good thoughts. And again, I grew up in our family was very Christian growing up, and so that's not part of my life these days. I don't have that kind of particular faith, but I wanted to say to my sister Liz, we'll be praying for you. Because sometimes I'll say, what I usually say to people is, I'll be sending you really good thoughts, which I think means in my worldview, that means the same thing as we'll be praying for you. But honestly, saying I'm going to send you like the best vibes I can, it didn't feel like I was making the point of how much I am concerned for my sister and her family and how much I want this to go okay for them. And so I tried to split the difference by saying, I wrote, well, we'll all be praying for you guys to whatever God we tend to reach out to. For me, it's probably Jeff Tweedy. Just because also my sister Liz and I have been to many Wilco shows together. It's kind of a shared like sort of love language and reference for us. And she gets where I'm coming from. So I send that along. It gets a laugh from my sister. I like that she can maintain her sense of humor even during this very stressful time.
Yeah.
And then my dad sends in some because my dad's like Mr. Computer guy and Forest Service guy. He found some like Forest Service wildfire map that's like updating every 20 seconds. So he puts that in the chain. And then my mom weighs in. I must comment that Jeff Tweedy, although a talent, has no power to change a situation such as this. Bad form, my son.
Uh-oh.
And then a kind of upset emoji. Do you guys remember when we walked in here? We came into the basement and my mom was like, Luke.
Oh, yeah.
I came upstairs. I came around and she was like, I'm sorry I wrote that in the text chain.
Oh,
she goes, I just have some principles I have to stand on. And I was like, Mom, it's okay. So then My sister Liz comes. I respond to my mom. I'm willing to roll the dice, which got a laugh.
With your soul. Is that what that means? Willing to roll
with Liz's entire life and beautiful home
I
they
see.
just
Yes,
finished
yes,
building.
Okay, yeah.
I'm willing to roll her dice.
Yes.
By praying to Jeff Tweedy. And then my sister Liz says, I'd actually bet on John Prine, which is why I was taking a picture of my John Prine tattoo.
You were taking a photo of your guns,
which
your
is
pipes,
not
your
not
forearms,
something I usually
your
do.
muscles, but I had a feeling the focus was the tattoo thereupon.
It was. And so I think things have kind of simmered down. It's also my niece Violet's 2-year-old birthday today, so now we're kind of on to that. Things seem to have stabilized in the Hawk Squad, but we did have a real sort of theological moment there where my mom, and this is real actually. I think, my parents, who are still very much people of faith, I think they've made a certain amount of peace with the fact that their children we have not, as a group, embraced that lifestyle.
Have they come to peace with the fact that their oldest son is broadcasting from their basement?
They will never, ever make peace with that. But, I do think that every once in a blue moon, we sneak something in that it's even a little bit of a bridge too far for them. And they'll have to, again, in the gentlest and generally sweetest way, kind of be like, don't pray to Jeff Tweedy.
Right. Yes, exactly. But we are
pray to Jeff Jesus.
Not to put you and everybody in the spot here, but we are here in the ancestral home. Will we get any appearances, do you think?
But from my parents.
From the folks.
Or from Jesus.
Or from Jeff Tweedy.
Is this the part where I
starting
sing,
with Jeff Tweedy.
Part where I sing the song? We, excuse me. Me, me, my, mo, moo. We are standing on holy ground, and I know that there are angels all around.
I didn't know this was the time for you to do that, but yes. It is the time for you to continue doing that.
This is actually turning into a prayer meeting down here in the basement. So
I feel like that's an HR concern.
Do we have enough in revenue to have an HR person yet?
Yeah, that's a great question, Luke. I think it's a great segue because it's the Thon. I think we need a few more people to donate to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Again, we started talking about this back at the Airbnb, but I hope that I'm not oversharing with the listeners. But of course, today is a holiday. It's a summer holiday. It's a week probably where a lot of folks are maybe on vacation or not at work, and sort of schedules and routines are disrupted, which is exactly why in the public radio model, you never do one of these fundraisers on a week like this. But we also just thought, one, we were trying to be nice to our old bosses at APM and finish out their fiscal year.
Sure.
And then number two, we thought, well, maybe we can do some TBTL independence kind of branding. Maybe the upside of being able to frame it as TBTL is going independent on Independence Week, that'll help us. That being said, John, you were saying we're looking at being around maybe a kind of a third of the way to where we're trying to get with things. Would that be kind of an accurate number?
Yeah, I think actually a little further along overall.
Oh, nice.
We're looking for, I think something we've talked about before, and message of this on is whatever you do with APM, just continue that. That's right. That would be awesome. And so for people that give monthly, especially, some people choose to give one time. Awesome. Thank you so much. The people that choose to give a monthly, we're about a third of the way there. So if you were giving your $15, $25 a month at APM, just come over to tbtl.net and sign up to start doing that again. So we're about a third of the way there for that.
And what's been a little, let's just say, intimidating about this process of going independent is, we were so grateful at all of the folks that have supported us over the years. And there were a lot of people over the, I don't know how many TBTL-a-Thons we did at APM, maybe 8 or something, who were donating money and had a kind of a regular withdrawal from their account. They were used to it. They were budgeting around it. It was just happening. And now we turned all of that off. And now we're hoping to turn as much of it back on as we can. And if you've ever run a business or something like this, you know that getting folks, even folks that like the show, even folks that, want to support TBTL sort of in theory, getting someone to jump through the hoops to turn a thing on, do sort of a proactive thing as opposed to a sort of passive thing. That's really where the work lies. And that's what I think we're doing okay on, but we could do even better. So to echo what John was saying, if you're hearing this, either you're watching the stream right now, or you're just hearing the podcast version, or you're one of my parents upstairs, and you haven't donated to the show yet. No, if you're hearing this and you have been donated to TBTL, if at the bare minimum, if you could just keep doing that, we would be forever in your debt. And if you're in a spot financially where you could even go up a little bit, of course, all the better. But really just trying to get what was happening at APM to now happen for Too Beautiful to Biz. That's what we're really trying to do here, and that's what we really need to have happen.
And we have some thank you gifts for folks who are able to donate at various levels. We've talked a lot about them, so I don't want to belabor it here today, and I'm sure it'll come up more on the show as the week progresses. But we have created a special limited edition I Saved TBTL commemorative coin. Yes. We worked with a 10, Eric, who has worked with us before on some TBTL projects, and he helped us design this coin. It's got you and me in a rowboat on one side.
Now Todd Stout. We've decided to add Todd Stout.
Also Todd Stout, who appears on the sample coin that we got from the company making it. These are solid coins that I've been worrying, as I said, during the entire broadcast the past couple of days. We also have, for folks who can donate at the $25 level, because we can't give away like tons of physical things because we don't
have any physical money yet.
Physical money.
And it turns out these lunch boxes are not exactly, the street value of these lunch boxes is fairly low that we're surrounded by here in my parents' basement.
And so we were kind of like, well, we can't buy more stuff to give away as a thank you gift. So one idea we came up with is like, what can we create? What can we take upon ourselves, maybe content wise? And so we came up with this idea of maybe creating like a weekly week in review where it'll be one of us up here or a couple of us up here today who are talking to you, along with maybe a listener or a friend of the show, just kind of jawing about what happened on TBTL that week and what stood out to them. And just, I think people are familiar with the idea of a week in review
Can
video.
I clarify something with that we were talking about in the ride over here?
Yeah.
We intentionally, because we love to be hilarious and self-deprecating, we intentionally are spelling it W-E-A-K in review, as in maybe it's not going to always be the strongest content. We've had a few people lovingly checking in to say, you may have misspelled the word week, but no, that's all.
Unfortunately.
And it's funny because you're laughing so hard you could barely send the email correctly.
You're laughing so hard you barely got it. But anyway, so that's something at the $25 a month level, but at whatever level you can give. And again, I don't want to belabor this too much. We have actually some folks who've been on the line for about 21 minutes now, so maybe we can get them on the air here. But if you've never given before, now would be a good time to even just like treat it like a tip jar. Like, we love folks who can donate on a regular, recurring monthly basis. That's huge. That's the lifeblood of the show. But if you're somebody who has listened for a long time but never been able to give for various reasons, or never been motivated to give for whatever reason, thinking, hey, somebody else is doing it, they seem fine, they work for American Public Media, they'll be fine. We're not fine. And so, even if you're just like, hey, I'm just going to throw $20 into a tip jar, like, just do that and become part of the TBTL universe with us in that way, and that's fine too. And so anyway, I just wanted to encourage maybe people who've never made this leap with us before to make the leap, even if you just want to make it like just a little mini leap.
And and again, not to go on and on about this because we've still got many days to do this, but the way that TBTL works, whether we're selling tickets for the 4,000th episode, which you can also grab at tbtl.net, or asking for donations for the show to exist, we are so, I'm just going to keep going with my very religious kind of parlance today. We're so blessed. We are so blessed to have so many amazing folks who have donated over the years and have even donated here in this thon. Like, there's basically like a kind of a small and incredibly loyal and amazing group of folks who, when we say, hey, we're doing the thon, those folks rush right out and donate, and they get on the Stens page and talk about it, and like they support the show. We always have a really great initial kind of flourish of the people who want to buy tickets to the shows or want to help support the show or just want to be part of what we're doing. The challenge for us is to then get past the kind of like our real core group of people, because it's a surprisingly small number of people who have a surprisingly large amount of loyalty to the program. So again, like Andrew was saying, if you're somebody that's kind of on one of the more outer rings of the show, like if you like the show, but you're not like one of the first people to rush right in and try to support it, this would be a really good year. You don't even have to do it next year. Just help us get the first year under our belt. I don't even care what you do in 2024. Wait, John's got thoughts on that.
Yeah, don't not do it in 2024.
All right, fair.
Okay.
Andrew,
So, let me put it this way. I had to pay for a subscription to a piece of video software that we're using right now to stream, and it's $20 a month. I don't know if we're going to pay for it every month, but we're paying for it this month so we can bring you this stream. Just go online right now, drop us $20. You just paid for the stream. How about that?
Yes. There you go. So if you're somebody who loves the show, but maybe you're not part of that like initial group of people that are just like lining up right away, like as soon as the link goes live to do whatever it is we're doing. This is the year that we could really, really use your help as well, because we're just trying to get back to what was happening when we were at 8 p.m. All right. Thank you again for all your support over the years. Now, do we have a phone call?
We certainly do.
Okay.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Does the screen accurately tell me that this is Langley and Puddles?
Kids and fantasy.
Hello, who am I talking? Hi, who am I talking to right now? Puddles or Langley?
Langley.
Hi, Langley. How old are you these days, Langley?
I'm 9.
9? That's amazing. What grade does that mean?
I'm going into 4th grade.
Oh my gosh, where do you go to school?
Uh-huh.
Where do you go to school, Langley?
Trillium Creek.
Okay, Trillium Creek. That sounds fancy.
Langley, you're smart not to give out too much personal information to somebody you've never met before. I just want to say that.
I feel like we've met over the podcast.
For listeners who don't know, Langley often calls in and leaves us jokes on the voicemail line. Do you have any jokes ready for us today? Maybe related to the 4th of July holiday, or am I putting you on the spot, Langley?
I don't have any jokes right now.
No, that's okay. Boundaries are good too.
Puddles, how old are you?
She's not here. She's in a parade right now.
In a parade? Wait, what? What is she doing in the parade?
Yeah, I can try to get her though.
No. Let her do the parade. That sounds much more fun than calling a podcast hosted by two people her dad's age. What's she doing in the parade? Is she on a float?
What?
Is she on a float in the parade? Is she marching? What is she doing?
No, they're just riding their bike.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Is that what you're going to go do after you get done with this phone call?
Yeah.
Hey, Puddle.
Is that your dad, Mike, in the background?
Yeah.
Is the parade going like right past your house right now? What's going on? Where are you?
We're in my grandma's neighborhood.
Okay. Are you getting any candy? Is it one of those parades where they throw candy?
No.
This parade sounds kind of lame, I'm going to be honest with you, Langley. Life is full of disappointments. It's something you probably have to learn sooner rather than later.
Hey, Langley, let me ask you a question, because I think your dad mentioned to me that you're a big fan of Red Robin. I just went to the Red Robin for the first time earlier this week. What do you usually order at the Red Robin?
The mac at yours.
The what? Mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Nice. I have some 4th of July jokes.
Nice.
You ready, Langley, for a couple 4th of July jokes?
Yeah.
Okay. Why does the Statue of Liberty stand in New York Harbor?
I don't know why.
Because it can't sit. I didn't say these were good jokes. I just said they were jokes. What do you call a duck who says bang? What do you call a duck who says bang?
I don't know.
A firequacker.
Did that one get you? Did I hear a little laugh?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay. What did one flag say to the other?
Nothing, it just waved?
Whoa! We have a joke
Langley!
expert. We have a joke.
Did you know that one already, or did you just figure it out?
I just figured it out.
That's very, very impressive.
Do you have any desire to be like a comedian when you get older and have to choose a job?
No, but my friend Mary could be.
Really? Okay, then you're gonna want to tell Mary this joke if you see her later today. What did the ghost say on the 4th of July?
What?
Red, white, and boo.
Oh, I feel like you could have gotten that one. What makes Mary so funny?
She can make funny faces.
That's pretty good. That's one of the pillars of comedy.
All right. Has Puddles been dragged over there now? Is Puddles standing next to you, Langley?
No.
Okay. So we're never getting Puddles, and that's okay.
Well, thanks. Before we let you go, did you have anything that you wanted to add? I mean, we listen to your voicemails all the time, but this is the first time we've actually had a chance to talk, I think.
My dad wants me to give a shout out to Joe Baby.
To who?
His name is, we call him Joe Baby.
Joe Baby. Okay.
Shout out to Joe Baby. Happy Blur's Day.
Happy TBTL Independence Day, Joe Baby. Hey, Langley, do you want 1 to 400 lunch boxes? Could you use those?
No.
No?
Oh,
Okay.
really?
All
Okay.
right.
Well, thanks for being honest.
Well, this call is over. All right. Langley,
Thank
thanks
you.
for calling in. Have a fun rest of your day and enjoy the parade.
Okay, bye.
Bye. We'll get more. You will hear more from Langley. We'll get more jokes soon, I think,
now,
on the
because
voicemail.
because we first became aware of Langley when Langley was really young and leaving us jokes on the voicemail line.
Yes, they've gotten dirtier.
And now Langley is older. Langley's in 4th grade. That's like, you're becoming a young person. And then
Absolutely.
is it going to be the case that when Langley is like 30 and calling in, I'm still going to use that sing-songy baby voice? Hey, Langley, are you at a parade? And Langley will be like, yeah, I'm a corporate executive right now, and I'm taking my children to a parade. Sir, why are you using that tone of voice?
First of all, I'm hoping that Langley is employee number 2, frankly. I'm hoping that we'll be colleagues at that point. But secondly, I mean, were we using that voice? Were you using that voice? I certainly don't think I was. I could be wrong. No, I don't think that it's necessarily the right move, but I do find that I kind of talk to children. I might even get grumpier and less sing-songy when I talk to kids for some reason.
You
I don't know if
kid
that's
too hard.
true or not.
Because you want to basically, I think you're probably trying to let them know that you are treating them as an equal, not as some sort of, person who should be pandered to. Is that why you go in the direction of like, I don't know, not what's the word I'm looking for? Not patronizing them?
I think I'm just awkward. I don't think
I
about
don't think
it.
you're
I don't
awkward.
think
I've
about
seen
it.
you. Listen, I've seen you with children. I don't know where you got them.
I don't ask questions.
I don't know how
you
the
don't want
police. I don't know how the
answer
police
to.
found you. No, I've seen you around children, and you're great with them. You're.
I got some kiddos who are friends. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think you're doing just fine with that stuff. Now, I am very much looking forward to finding out about the top snacks in each state.
Oh, it's gonna be
from
so
Reader's Digest.
bad.
Now, I think so. You said when we first got out here and we were setting everything up. You said, I grabbed this Reader's Digest. I don't know if there's anything we want to use, but I just grabbed it on my way out of the house. And then at some point, you took a moment to really gaze upon the cover. And that was when I heard something inside of you turn on. And you were like, we're doing this. You strode into the room holding it aloft because it has the most ridiculous cover photo ever. Can you describe it?
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk. I will take a photo of this and make it today's show pick because I don't think even the people who are watching on the live stream can probably see
Here, hold on.
from here. You can try, but it is this is, if you're familiar with the graphic design is my passion meme, like this really leans into it. It is an image of the Statue of Liberty, but instead of holding a torch, Lady Liberty is holding a very sloppy looking red buffalo wing. Too saucy for me. In fact, sauce is dripping off of it almost down her arm.
Which to me is, honestly, that's unpatriotic.
It is. It is not. And now we have to burn the Statue of Liberty.
That's treasonous that you made the Statue of Liberty have like Frank's Red Hot sauce going down her sleeve.
It's going to go down the sleeve. That's gross. And then I guess holding a big bucket of what looks like maybe
popcorn
chicken,
maybe?
shrimp or chicken, maybe like a big red. But it is really something to behold. I know this isn't necessarily a visual medium, but here's the deal. And I don't know if you want to get in this now or if you're just teasing it.
No, let's do it.
Okay, I was just going to say that that the headline is first of all. Headline is America the Tasty.
Show title?
I need some tissues. When I laugh this hard, I really need tissues. And it says the best snack in every state. And I'll tell you what, have I lived in 4 states? I think Ohio, New Hampshire, California, and Washington, right? And I am always disappointed by this. I am always like, what are you talking about? Like there's always they'll usually release at some point during the year Reader's Digest, like the best or every state's favorite sandwich or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? Although the Ohio po' boy is apparently really a thing. It's like kielbasa with French fries on top of it. I was talking to my dad about it. He said he's seen some people have
the
that.
problem with all of these lists is that there is no independent international standard for how you decide on what a region's favorite anything is.
Yes, exactly.
And so it always feels like if it's like, what kind of candy do they like at Halloween and things like that. It's just like, it doesn't seem very reliable, but it's a fun conversation starter. That's when I just started to channel Jiminy Glick.
It's fun.
It's inaccurate, but we like to read it.
So let me start with Washington State. We are in Washington State.
Yes.
You, of course, born and bred in Washington State.
Not born here, but spent a lot of time.
Well, bred here.
Sure.
don't want to talk about you being bread anymore.
Yes.
Can I? Hey, it's bread.
If you found out how much they paid for my semen when they bred me in Washington.
My God.
Real stud fees.
Ooh, boy.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Washington State.
Glad
What is
Langley's not on the line
according
anymore.
to, they're at the parade. They have no memory this even happened.
Okay, what do you think, Luke? Do you want to take a stab at this? What do you think is Washington State's favorite snack?
Okay, is this, I kind of promoted it as being 4th of July related, but it's not like summertime snack, it's just snack.
It's 4th of July related because it's America the Tasty, Luke. What part of America the Tasty don't you understand? No, these snacks have nothing to do with 4th of July other than they're just putting this peg in this hole.
Okay, Washington State, I think that they're going to lean into something related to seafood because Washington State is along the Pacific Ocean and there's a lot of great, like salmon and oysters and things. Even though I would say I don't think smoked salmon is the favorite snack here, I bet you they said smoked salmon.
I think that would be a good guess. I mean, the thing is, and smoked salmon is a snack. That's something we should talk about, the difference between like meals and snacks, right? And I guess smoked salmon, you would have it as a snack maybe on a cracker, like with some...
Yeah, or sometimes there'll be like little pieces too that are kind of candied and stuff. That can be yummy.
I agree that probably should be it, but I will tell you this, and this is not the case, I think. I haven't really done much show prep. This is not the key for most of these, but in Washington's case, it is something even more natural than that. This is something that grows. This is a...
You know why I was having a hard time getting this? Because I didn't have our snack music going.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Where snackers get more snacks. Oh, no, I had the wrong song.
Just so you know, we have 7 minutes of this.
Okay,
okay.
good.
Now I'm getting in the right headspace. Is it gabagool?
It is not gabagool.
Okay, so you said it's natural. So
it is natural. It is a fruit, actually, Luke.
Oh, an apple.
It is not an apple either.
A cherry.
It is a cherry. It is Rainier cherries.
Okay.
I mean, okay, we have them. As a matter of fact, there's a family at the corner near where I live on Aurora. There's a family that has put up a pickup truck with a tent over it in the O'Reilly's parking lot, and they've been selling cherries by the pound, like walking into the street selling cherries by the pound. I have not bought any yet, but they were a pretty good price. But do you accept that as a snack?
Not really.
Seems odd, right? Apple even seems more like a snack than cherries. I don't know why.
What do you think, John?
Can I interject on the apple thing? That's very much a fall thing, right? So you wouldn't do apples at 4th of July. I mean, you can have.
But again, I don't think any of this is
not related to 4th of July.
It's not 4th
other
of July,
than
right,
it's
sorry.
America the Tasty. Again, just focus on that.
Sorry.
So it's not 4th of July-y, but it is. But I do think an apple. It's like, hey, I want to have a snack. Okay, grab an apple. You wouldn't say. I mean, people do snack on cherries, but it just doesn't seem like the state snack to me. I'm a little disappointed, as I guessed I would be.
Yeah, that's. I'm not surprised only because my guess is a lot of these things are going to be less about a very airtight methodology and more about like, hey, what is that state known for, or what have we? You know what I mean?
Actually, do you want me to read the little graph? It looks like there's a graph here that I have not read. A cross between this is so again a Rainier cherries. A cross between the Bing and Van varieties. Rainier cherries have some of the highest sugar levels of sweet cherries. If you miss their short growing season, you can always snag a bag of dried ones from Chukar cherries.
Oh, Chucker cherries.
Chucker cherries.
Yes.
Is that like a famous institution?
I don't know how famous it is, but I've seen it around. Their logo is like a bird. I think the bird is the Chucker, which is kind of ironic because the number one enemy of cherries in Washington State are birds.
Oh,
I did a story years ago, a CBS story, about all the lengths that farmers have to go to try to keep the birds out of their cherries over particularly in like Eastern Washington.
That reminds me of a question that I had for Genevieve the other day, because we have a lot of crows in our house, and they've been like kind of not menacing with us, but we have a whole thing going on with these crows who live around our house, and I don't want to scare them off. What they're doing and contributing to our life is interesting, but it did occur to me, if we put a scarecrow up, would they be scared? But the whole thing about crows is they recognize faces. They're an incredibly smart bird.
I don't think that a scarecrow is gonna...
Did scarecrows ever work? How did they become such a thing?
Well, I think that just our bird scaring technology we lagged way behind other industrialized countries for many years.
I remember the scarecrow race of the 1960s.
Yes,
But,
exactly. JFK
real...
said, "We will put a scarecrow in every field."
It jump-started the education system here in the United States. But for real, I mean, it must have worked enough that enough farmers were putting scarecrows all over the place at some point.
The stuff that they use now, they use these randomly cycling air cannons.
Oh, wow.
That are just they're often I think they're propane powered, and they just go off all the time randomly. They use all kinds of netting situations. Also, you maybe see this sometimes, people put it in their cherry trees just in their yard, but certain kind of shiny kind of a plasticky film that's these little ribbons, but it does something to the eyes of the birds. They don't like it. They don't want to go near it.
Is that why people hang CDs from trees too? That same deal. Okay.
Right. Or just because it's sort of a lesser work from Paul Simon. You're just get this out of here.
Now you are not from Ohio. You shouldn't know Ohio
Hey,
snack.
Mama.
Hey, what's going on?
I need to tell you, Andrew, that I so agree with you.
All right, come over here. We have a microphone
Wait a
over here.
second.
We have a guest. We have a microphone.
Hold
over
on,
here.
it's happening. It's happening, y'all. We're actually using the mom mic.
We have the mom mic set up over here.
Okay.
We got Susie B in the basement.
Hey, guys.
Mom,
Hello.
welcome to the show.
Thanks,
So you can actually hear us. Can you hear what we're saying upstairs?
You're delayed.
Oh, because you're watching us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're watching upstairs. Oh, wow. We got at least
So
one
I don't know
viewer.
if that matters.
No.
But,
That's
So when you're done here, you can run upstairs and then see yourself.
Okay.
Which will be really cool.
Not that I really want to. But I wanted to mention that what Andrew said about the cherries, I'm so in agreement with that.
Which
because
thing?
they are snacks.
They are
Those
snacks.
Bing cherries. Did you say Bing or Rainier?
No, Rainier.
Rainier, yeah.
Either one.
But
He
you feel
was-
I was kind of
he
saying
was
that
saying he
it's
doesn't
not
think it's a snack.
You think it is a snack.
Oh, you saying you didn't think?
It just seemed like apples would be better fitting for Washington State. I don't want to get into a fight with you, though.
No.
You just came down there. I'll back off right away.
I thought you said that cherries, they're sweet, they're like a snack. And
That's
I
what
thought,
Reader's Digest said.
Oh, Reader's Digest. Okay, I'm with them. Okay, because not with that picture that you were showing.
You don't like that?
right?
You don't like
That's
that cover
like
art?
Nasty.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
right.
What's up with that?
I don't know, Mom. That's a great question.
I always thought
They
Reader's
would
Digest
not,
was like
though.
super conservative.
No, they've changed. It used to just be like the cover was just a table of contents back.
We
in
used
the,
to have so many, Mom. We used to have so many Reader's Digests around that you would pick up at garage sales.
Oh, yeah.
The condensed, or what was
Doctor's office,
No,
whatever.
but it was the large print edition. Remember, we'd always have they would be for people that were having trouble reading the regular size print. We had a lot of large print editions of Reader's Digest around.
Right, yeah.
So,
For
Mom,
some
would you say
reason.
cherries are high up on your list of snack foods? Do you like?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
When I was a kid, we used to go to my Aunt Joan and Uncle Ed's
Yeah.
house. My mom died when I was a little kid, but
I would like to mention to people that are just listening to this on the podcast, my mother is addressing the webcam.
No, that's good.
She's-
There's
I love it,
a
Mom.
chair too.
Yeah.
Can I get you here? I'm going to get you
Come
this
in
chair
closer,
while you
huh?
talk. While you talk, I'll get the chair.
So, Mom, where was your Aunt Joan and Uncle Ed's house?
it was in Fox Chase, right
Oh, so it was
outside
in
of Philly,
Philly.
like 3 miles outside
Yeah.
of Philly. But they had a cherry tree that was Bing cherries, and it was the best cherries ever.
Yeah.
And we'd go over there like on a Sunday night in the summer, and all that my cousins, like they'd all want to play because we had kids, siblings, I had siblings, and they had kids.
Mm-hmm.
But all I wanted to do was pick the cherries and eat the cherries.
Really?
So I was like under that big cherry tree all the time, just picking and eating and picking and eating.
Why don't
because
you
they
and
were
Dad
so
have,
yummy.
Mom, why don't you and Dad have a cherry tree? You're on all this land.
We do, but we don't have anything to pollinate it.
Oh.
So there was a cherry tree on the land, but you need, I think, a second cherry tree within a certain radius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You think I would know that? I actually was not aware of that at all. Can we, Mom,
Uh-huh.
while we have you, Andrew, can you flip to Pennsylvania?
I'm there. That's what I wanted
I
to
was
get.
wondering,
Yes,
Mom,
yes,
how
yes.
you feel about because they're listing what they say are like the favorite snack of every state.
But
So
it's a
I wanna-
snack. Keep in mind, that's not a sandwich.
I
it's
want
a
to.
snack.
I want to see how you feel about what they answered for Pennsylvania, being a Philadelphian yourself.
I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing your guess at it. Do you want to guess what the snack of Pennsylvania is?
Sure.
I know
What
what you're
is
going to say, and it's wrong.
What do you think it is?
Hearst potato chips.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tasty cakes.
Oh.
I feel like both of those are good, but
Love
wrong,
Hearst.
according to Reader's Digest.
Do you have a
wanna
guess,
know what
John?
it is?
Pennsylvania, that is not in my bailiwick. Is that in my
Okay.
wheelhouse?
How about pretzels?
A hot pretzel. Remember when we would go down, we would like take the L down to like downtown Philly and like on a freezing cold day and get a hot pretzel on the corner.
Yep.
That was fun.
Oh, maybe I'll look thinner if I sit. But if I sit, am I still on?
Pretzels it is, my friend.
Pretzels, Mom,
Susie
you're
B,
right.
soft pretzels.
Yeah, they're the best.
Pennsylvanians prefer their pretzels big, soft, and topped with mustard. A true Pennsylvania.
Like how I like my women.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Sorry, Mom, you didn't hear that.
I kind of did.
Anyway, but you nailed that. I don't think I need to read you anymore. But you're absolutely right. Soft pretzels. Now I want one.
Okay, while you're in the Northeast,
Mm-hmm.
can we try Jersey? Because it's another place my mom spent a lot of time as a kid. And now
New
that's
Jersey, sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, want to take a stab at this first?
Well, I'll let you go first, Mom. I've got some theories.
I have a high amount of confidence that you're going to get this.
Yes.
Okay, well, pizza's not in the snack department.
I don't think so, unless it's on a bagel, but that's a whole thing.
I was going to say bagel next.
Mom, how about this? Mom, how about
Yeah.
this? This is something I'm guessing too. I don't know the answer, but something that you always would tell us. The very best of this thing came from New Jersey. You were obsessed with the New Jersey.
Yeah, I think I got
something
this.
you eat it grows in New Jersey, and you would always say,
it's corn on the cob.
Yep.
Right.
Jersey sweet
That's
corn.
not
Is
a
that
snack.
Corn on the cob.
Oh
is
my
a
gosh,
snack?
it's
No.
like you don't even have to have butter and salt. It
No,
is
that is true.
Sweet as
That's
can be.
I
Okay, so
do
it's
the
not-
same
so-
thing. I don't even sometimes. Yeah, exactly. I don't even heat it sometimes.
Okay, so that was
But
wrong then.
that's
Sorry,
not
Mom.
a-
I led you.
But
I
I
led
knew
you
that
astray.
corn on the cob is what you're talking
Here,
about.
let me give you a hint, and maybe as a local or a quasi-local, maybe it doesn't jibe with you. But if anybody goes to Jersey and they have to bring something back for their coworkers or friends, they're going to bring this back from a gift shop, probably.
Oh,
Gift shop.
Maybe
saltwater taffy.
Indeed.
Mom, that's pretty good.
Saltwater
Which I never
taffy.
liked, really.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
It really sticks in your teeth. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it always
Except
seems
for
like
the vanilla. Vanilla was yummy.
I'll be honest with you. People would go to those states and bring back saltwater taffy for the office, and it felt like an affront to me.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't you just bring nothing back?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot of pressure.
Well, you don't want to bring tasty cakes back because they don't travel well.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I would
That's the
disagree
deal.
with that. I ate many a butterscotch crimpet that Aunt Mary Lou brought out,
God,
Mom,
that
and I
sounds
thought it was
good.
so delicious.
Oh yeah, even
but
if
I
it's
was a
little
kid. I had low
it's a little
standards.
squashed. It's okay.
This
Okay,
is
wait. Now,
great.
John,
Yeah,
can we see? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to direct you through this, Andrew, but
No,
can we do
please,
New
yeah.
York State next?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd
for
love
John.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
so based on the offensive cover of that, I'm guessing they're saying chicken wings. But as somebody who was a one-time chicken wing contest participant,
Okay.
I don't see those as snack. They're an appetizer. They can even be a meal. And so,
Right.
like, if that's the answer,
You want to formally register your complaint.
Can I confirm if it's that, Andrew, or is it something else?
This kind of gives it away, but
Yeah.
it says it is. I'm walking here. No, it's buffalo wings. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What
not
do they
a
call that? A
snack.
snack?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
call it a
that's
Yeah, it would
snack.
definitely be in the hors d'oeuvres
I
department.
think
I
Yeah.
totally agree.
I could
Thank
be a
you,
whole
Susie.
meal if you order enough
It
of
is-
them.
Yeah,
I think
Not
it's
much
a
meat
meal.
on 'em.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also don't like the fact. Well, listen, they were invented in New York, though.
In Buffalo.
At
Yes,
Pete's
exactly.
Anchor Bar, I believe, right?
It was
Yeah.
Pete. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Anchor Bar.
I've
yeah.
told this story on the show many times because, in fact, Andrew, I think I was checking in with you as this trip was happening because I had gone out to Chautauqua, New York to do a TV story. I had lost my ID. And so I was under the impression I couldn't fly home. I couldn't get on the airplane. So I just rented a car and just started driving east. One thing I had was beef on weck, which
delicious.
was delicious.
Yeah.
But I also, because I was in Buffalo, I wanted to go to the place where they invented buffalo wings. And it's this little bar. And I went in there, and it's really cute, place. It's obviously legendary. But I also wanted to watch the Mariners game. And I said to the bartender, I was like, "Do you guys have the Mariners game?" She goes, "You probably got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings for that," which I found highly ironic that she was sending me to the mall to the Buffalo Wild Wings when I was at the cradle of life when it came to these chicken wings.
I mean, were the Mariners playing a local team? That's a pretty big ask just to play like some random baseball game.
There is no Buffalo local team.
Yeah, no, they.
Well, that's
they,
like
Toronto?
a New York team or something.
No. I just was hoping it was like a sports bar where they had paid for all
Sure,
of the
yeah.
all of the stuff. Aren't you going to Niagara Falls with your girlfriend's mom?
I am, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, at the end of September. Never been to Niagara Falls, so I'm excited.
Oh,
Cool.
that is
Yeah.
fun.
Here's the thing, I just have to say
Okay.
that the apple so doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to you, Luke. Because
What do you mean?
there was a time I was in Philly because my family, I still have sister, brother, I have some family left in Philly. And I was flying back just alone without my husband he would have helped me out with this, but he wasn't with me. So it was really hot. I was up in the bedroom packing, getting ready to fly.
At Aunt Kathy's house?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this middle bedroom that's like super hot. Anyway, I had a vest on and I'd put my license in the vest pocket, just a little like sleeveless vest.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so hot packing my stuff, I took it off, put it over the chair,
Oh, Mom.
the vest, and then my brother-in-law, who is
Uncle Johnny?
he's pretty
Stern?
yeah, he's easy to
German?
get upset, German. Yeah, he like I've known him for a long, long time. They've been married over 50 years.
He's watching right now, Mom. He's a big fan of the show. What up, Uncle John?
Okay, so he was taking me to the airport. So we're driving to the Philadelphia International Airport, which is no picnic from my sister's house. And I was really glad that he was going to drive me instead of me having to take the train. And we get about 3/4 of the way there, and I go, oh my gosh, my license is in the pocket of the vest up in the bedroom.
Was Aunt Kathy like working her shift at Friendly's or something?
Something like that.
Crossing guard doing her crossing guard thing?
He didn't mind driving me. She hates to drive. Hates to drive. So anyway, especially in traffic. But so he's like, okay, we have to go back. And I said, no. I'll miss my plane. If we go back, just take me there. I'll do some good talking.
Yes!
I'll talk my way out of this or into this airplane.
Wow. Was this after 9/11? Like how recently was this?
It was after 9/11. Pretty sure.
Mom,
so my
I
brother-in-law,
admire your
John,
confidence
is saying,
so much.
This is a wasted trip. You're going to call me when you get to the airport and say, come pick me up. And, like I said, he's easily angered and he didn't want to come back for me.
He was 100%
like,
my
me.
scariest uncle. That is true. But he also did have a VHS tape of the Red Shoe Diaries that was hidden away somewhere that I found once when I was there. So he was okay by me.
Okay. But anyway, he was so insistent that
Yeah.
there was no way I was going to be able to get on that airplane. And I begged him, please just take me. And he's like, Sue, this is such a waste of time. So he drops me off and says, I know I'm going to be hearing from you. Should I wait? And I'm like, no. So I go and, where you get your ticket. And I just told them my story. And they let me on without one bit of ID.
What about any waterworks? Any waterworks? Did you have to cry a little bit at all?
Actually, I cry a lot, but I didn't cry in this instance. I do. I usually cry my way. I tried to cry my way out of a speeding ticket the other day.
It's a tool.
Oh, no.
And it didn't quite work.
So did they look you up on did they try in any way to verify that you were did you have your Safeway card in your wallet or something?
I think I did, because I had the wallet, but I just didn't have ID. I didn't have a picture ID. So I think they might have called your dad or something out here. Anyway, they let me on.
Wow.
And I got on the very plane that I wanted to get on, which was pretty amazing. But I said that all because I know what it's like to lose something.
Well, you know what happened to me was I didn't realize that you could do that. And it wasn't until I was about halfway across the country and telling the story on the show, because I would stop in a town and then I would call Andrew up and then we would do the show.
Yeah.
That one of the listeners said, basically, you can get on an airplane without ID. You have to prove to them that you are, at least to their satisfaction, but it's really a judgment call on their part.
Yeah.
And it's going to add a lot of time. It's not, you're going to have to be there for a while. But basically, you can get on an airplane in America without any picture ID if you can. And now, Mom, this is what's amazing. Now that you've been on this broadcast, and this is going to be enshrined on YouTube forever, next time you're trying to go through the airport without your ID, you can say, I'm Susan Burbank. And if you go to YouTube, you can see me being interviewed by my son and his friends for the podcast. So now you have, there's a digital, timestamp and watermark of you being who you say you are.
Right. If they go to that much trouble. I don't know. But I'm really trying to change this up because another thing is I'm going to, Niagara Falls, but it's on the Canada side, which means that you have to have your passport.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last time I saw my passport, it was somewhere in the house. And
I might be sitting on it. Let me.
Hold on, I'm sitting on my own passport. It's my favorite Richard Scarry joke.
Oh, right.
You know that we're sitting on our own hats?
I know, I love it. But yeah, so
Wait, so you don't know where your passport is right now?
Oh, no, I don't know. And on top of that is I'm going in the middle of September, which would be too late now, apparently, to get a new one. But it wasn't even that. It was I did not want to put out the money because somewhere in this house is the passport. It's not expired.
Can I swap stories on that, Mom, just so we can further cement in the listeners' minds that we're basically the same person? When I went on my the honeymoon for my first wedding, we went to Italy, and I had never had a passport before, and I had never taken the time to look into how long it takes to get a passport. Also, I have a weird thing, which is my name on my birth certificate is not Luke Burbank, it's Luke Kelly. And so there was a lot of things that were standing in the way of me getting this passport, including that it was the day before my wedding. And I'm at the passport office in downtown Seattle, and I have a birth certificate that doesn't have my real name on it, and a driver's license with a different name. And the person behind the counter was like, took pity on me. I said, I'm getting married tomorrow, and the day after that, I'm flying to Italy, or I'm trying to fly to Italy. She said, listen, go home, get some like yearbooks, get some, just anything you can get that proves that you exist. And bring them in. And I had to bring in like yearbooks and old little like, Stars of Tomorrow, the like Kiwanis Club Stars of Tomorrow, whatever you call that, like the program. And
op-eds that you wrote to the Seattle Times when you're 8 years old.
I gave them all this stuff. The woman at the passport office, this was pre 9/11, by the way. She said, I'm going to give you a 1 year. She goes, I shouldn't do this. I'm going to give you a passport. It's only good for 1 year, which normally they're good for longer than that.
10.
She was like, I'm just doing this so you can go on your honeymoon. Oh my God. She said, but when you come back, don't forget, you got to bring it in and you have to get like a real passport. And I was like, oh my God, I will. Thank you. You've saved my life. This is incredible. This is amazing. Flash forward 1 year and 1 day. I am attempting to board a flight to Paris.
Oh no.
With my passport that is expired by 1 day.
Same deal.
I did not get on that flight. I had to go back to the same lady.
Oh my God.
At the
lady?
Yeah, it's like
Seriously? A year later?
Yeah, because it's a small office because it's where you go for expedited passports.
Oh my
I had to go to the same lady in the same window, and I said, remember a year and 2 days ago when you told me?
Oh my God.
But she just stamped it because once I had the passport, that was the whole hassle. She just she just did something to extend it, and everything was fine.
Oh my God.
Susie, can I tell you
She
something?
was a savior.
You know we're down here raising money today, right?
Yes.
We're asking people to
Have you
donate.
considered donating to TBTL?
That's not where I'm going, but good job, Luke. No, but we apparently have a listener named Vincent who is watching the stream today and commented on YouTube a little while ago saying that he was kind of on the fence about giving, had good intentions, but hadn't done it. But hearing your stories on the show pushed him over the edge. That is a true story. So thank you for raising some money for TBTL in the past 5 minutes. Yes.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay, so what I found out, going back to the passport
wait.
I can get...
Buckle up. Everyone, cancel your 4th of July plans. We're going to be here for a while.
Sorry,
I can get an enhanced license.
Oh, yeah.
Heck of a lot less investment.
And you can get to Canada with that enhanced license.
Yes.
Sweet. Yes. And did you do it yet?
No, but it's only 3 weeks. It's only a 3-week thing.
Okay, Bob, do me a favor.
I have every intention of doing that.
Yeah, why don't you knock that out sooner rather than later, and then put it in a place.
To say that I didn't do it is actually not true because I went to Paul's Boat to the driver's place, and I didn't have everything that I needed.
Gotcha.
I had, I think it was
and you were carrying a bomb.
License that was it was the birth certificate with my footprints on the back.
Oh,
but it wasn't the legitimate birth certificate.
It was your baby book.
Wasn't the
Was it your bronzed baby shoes?
No, but it had it was big. It was a big certificate.
Yeah.
And it had my mom's handwriting on it.
Oh,
and all
that's
that.
sweet.
It was special to me because like I said, my mom died when I was 6. So it was special, and I was like trying to entreat the lady. Well, this is she goes, it's darling, but it won't work. He goes, especially with those little footprints on the back, but it won't work. Come back. And it wasn't that big a deal. It's just, 15 miles from here. So,
Mom, when I find myself in those kind of situations that feel impossible or it's like I need a real break, I just pray to Jeff Tweedy. And usually things work out.
Or St. Anthony, please come around. Help me find whatever that's lost but can be found. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't aspire to either that.
Okay, Mom. Well, listen. Thanks for coming down.
Okay. Yeah,
thank you for making use of the mom mic that we set up just for you. And anytime you hear anything going on down here that you need to clarify or weigh in on, you come on down. Okay, you're always invited.
Don't trip.
Watch it. There's a lot of cords over there. Okay. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
That was a lot of fun.
Well, just in case anyone out there had any questions about where every single fiber of my being comes from.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's all that I've been sitting here reading the chat. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's Luke. Which one is Luke?
Exactly.
Where did Susie end and Luke begin?"
Oh my gosh! I'm also looking because we have a monitor here, so we can sort of see the web stream, and it's very hard to not sort of catch your own, I guess you would say, reflection or whatever. And as I'm sitting with my mom, and there's pictures upstairs, various pictures of my granddad, my mom's dad, Jack Kelly of Philadelphia, PA. It is just, I am so turning in to my granddad.
Oh, really?
Physically, my head is expanding. I have the same hair that he had. I have the same forehead that he had. I am really turning into Jack Kelly. It's also weird being 47 because I don't know how old he lived, but most of the pictures that I've seen of him, he's probably my age. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he didn't live to be, it was a long time ago. He didn't live to be 100 or anything. Yeah. So sitting here with my mom staring at my increasingly Jack Kelly face, it's a real moment of family reflection for me.
Hey, I have a caller here. I forgot that we've had a caller on the line, Luke, for 29 minutes.
What if it was my mom? What if it was my mom with one more thing to say?
This person has either they're now a skeleton on the other end of the line, or they really want. I don't know who this is.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Hi there. Welcome to TBTL.
Oh, hi. This is Michelle.
Hey, Michelle McNelly in McWhere?
In Minnesota.
Right. What part do you live near where our employee number one, John Skleroff, lives in St. Paul?
Not too far.
Did you used to live in Chicago, or did I just meet you in Chicago?
No, I used to live in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. I don't know where I got that from.
Where the snack would be cheese curds.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let's check that.
Let me look that up.
If it's not, that book is garbage.
Yeah, no, I was also going to ask you about Minnesota, but let's start
with Wisconsin. Hang on, Michelle.
Wisconsin. Oh, Luke, do you have that bell? Because we are talking about some fried cheese curds.
Okay, I agree with that. I think that's a pretty solid one. What were you going to say, Michelle?
I have no idea what Minnesota would be.
Well, let's find out together.
Okay.
Because we've got, you're a Minnesota.
I would say Kolachki.
Oh, okay.
My husband is Czech.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, how do you say that again?
Kolachki.
And what
Some people say kolache.
What's in that? What's in one of those?
They're little dough things that have fillings in them,
Yum.
and they're
God, I'm hungry. I got to start eating breakfast on this thing. This is really taking it out of me. John, what would your guess be for Minnesota?
The chicken wing thing really took me out. So it's not it's not a Juicy Lucy, which is a stuffed cheeseburger, but I would guess, ironically, maybe lutefisk. The fish. I don't think it actually is, but it is yuck, Michelle. I think people that do it is a snack for them, but it is also.
Isn't it
horrible.
Famously terrible? Have you had lutefisk, Michelle?
It's horrible.
Right.
I'm an import. It's rotted fish. How about tater tots?
Oh, yes.
That should be
Great
it.
answer.
But you guys, this is another thing that grows on trees, and it ain't money, I'll tell you that.
Is it? Oh, I'll let Michelle take a guess.
Do you have a guess? Do you have a guess? Something that grows on a tree that would be Minnesota's state snack?
Michelle.
Apple?
It is an apple, a honey crisp apple. Why did I think that those were from Washington?
We grow a lot of them in Washington.
Okay,
that's for sure.
but they're not the ones that were invented at the
University of Minnesota.
Indeed,
I
it is.
see.
Yes,
yeah, no,
yes.
we invented a thing called the Cosmic Crisp.
Cosmic Crisp, right?
It's like a cosmic gumbo.
Exactly.
That was invented at Washington State University.
Yes.
How's it going out there in Minnesota, Michelle, aka Michelle?
It would be better if I wasn't just getting over having COVID. Both of my 11 caught it, and so we're right at the end of it. So we're fine now.
Yeah. How many times have you had it?
This is our first time.
Oh man, you made it through the pandemic.
Golly, that's amazing. I don't know many people who never, even people who are vaccinated like myself, it seems like everybody got at least Omicron or something. You never got it at all, huh?
No, I mean, we were vaccinated up the wazoo, all the vaccines.
That's not how they're supposed to do it, Michelle.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
You should have gotten it in your arm.
So I have a couple of very important questions for you. First one, this is directed to John. John, we're thrilled. The Tens are thrilled to have you along, but how do I get my hands on another one of those sweet, sweet lunch boxes?
Oh, Michelle, sorry.
My husband walked through when I was watching this yesterday and said, I need one of those lunch boxes to build something called a Faraday box.
Oh, what is a Faraday box again? I've heard that term, but I've forgotten what that means.
It's something that stops bad actors from swiping your keyless entry to your car.
It's like an RFID blocker.
Right. And the little tin box will work. So, John, how do I get one of those sweet, sweet boxes?
Listen, Michelle, we've been talking a lot about what to do with these, and I think we have some ideas, but send me an email at tbtljohn@gmail.
You can't say no. You can't say no. I love it. I don't know.
We'll get it out to you.
We have some issues with because we have we have more people who want these boxes now than when we were giving them away like 5 years ago.
For real, when we were selling them. Now people really want
people
them.
have seen them, but we have some shipping issues because the cost of shipping it will be more than we'd probably be comfortable sending. The logistics. So, but you're gonna say yes to Michelle, and then everybody.
No, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have my mom send them out.
Okay.
And so Michelle. This is I think I have as my mom would say, a scathingly brilliant idea, which is I believe her mishearing Haley Mills in the movie The Parent Trap, who I think maybe says scathingly brilliant. Maybe it's scavengly. I think I have a scathingly brilliant idea. What if, Michelle, you reach out to a 10 who is going to be at the 4,000th episode, where we are very much going to have a bunch of these lunch boxes, and you work it out with somebody from the Stens page to mail you one of the lunch boxes. I believe we will be giving out as many as any one person can carry. How about that? Would that work?
That sounds fabulous. And you need to pick it up because there's a really cute picture of the Brew Dog on the bottom.
Yes, I know. I've seen it. It's what's kind of interesting is we've got these. Those are very, very gingerly placed together.
Yes, can you see that there on the live stream?
The way, Michelle, I don't know if you've been watching the live stream, if you can see kind of what our orientation is, but like I have on my side of the table here, all the lunch boxes are stacked so that my face is facing outwards, which means I'm looking at Andrew's face.
Yes, and I'm looking at
and
yours
he's looking
over here.
And it's interesting because sometimes I'm not even looking at real Andrew. I'm just looking at his cartoon, and it's like it works.
He probably does better than I do, honestly.
So we will. I think the best thing to do, Michelle, would be to work this out through the Stens or through the Slack or something like that. And there is a way to get you one of these, I promise, because we have a lot of them. Okay.
Well, I have one, but I need a second one. My husband
Faraday
has stolen
box.
mine.
Sure.
And now,
yes. Second
the
question.
other question is: at some point, can you give us a close-up and narration of that family portrait in the background?
Oh man, you know what, Michelle? That's a great. Why don't we save that for tomorrow? Because there has been a lot of conversation online, and I actually have a lot of thoughts about it because the where a lot of the conversation online has gone, at least on my Instagram stories and stuff, is not exactly where I was expecting it to go. So maybe we can kind of have that be a forward promote. Are you going to be able to watch? Well, you're down with COVID. You got nothing to do but watch this stuff, right?
I got nothing to do but
Okay.
watch.
So tomorrow, or maybe even, you know what? Either tomorrow or maybe even on the Ten Teaks Roadshow, maybe we can get into that photo. Are you going to be able to zoom in on Wednesday night for the Ten Teaks Roadshow?
Oh yeah, boy,
Okay.
do I have something.
I love it. So maybe, you know what, since that's going to be an especially visual time, maybe what we can do is I'll give some kind of explanation of what the hell is going on in that family photo for on Wednesday night. We will address it at some point this week, I promise, Michelle.
And we will be giving away copies of it at the 4th.
Your family pictures too.
I'm sorry, I talked over you. Say that again.
John and Andrew, we want to see your family pictures too.
I weirdly I didn't bring any to Poulsbo.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, you can get Bob to send you one.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, Michelle, hope you feel better, and thanks for being such an awesome TBTL-10 all these years. We really appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah,
Take care. Feel better.
Bye-bye.
Please do feel better. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for hanging out. Michelle, a part of the TBTL family for quite some time. Good to hear from you.
Can I give a plug, Luke?
Please.
So speaking of the event tomorrow night, we have a few hundred people registered, but we still have a lot of room. So if you want to do it, go to tbtl.net, and there's a button that Andrew put up there so people can easily do so.
I mean, I don't have to take credit for it. We put the button up there. I mean, we do everything kind of collectively around here, but thank you for the shout out.
Yeah, you know, and there's a lot going on over there at tbtl.net. I mean, again, this always happens during these weeks where we're broadcasting by way of the website. I feel weird talking about the website to people that have used the website to watch us talking about the website. But There is a lot of stuff happening at TBTL.net. There's a button to buy tickets for the 4,000th episode. There's the button to sign up for the 10 Teaks Roadshow tomorrow night. But most critically, there's the button to donate. I just had to shift into a George Takei. Oh my. Most critically. Most critically, there's the button to donate to TBTL. Again, if you're hearing us right now, you've been listening to this whole hour plus, so you already know the whole spiel. I won't bore you with it again, other than to say, if you've been on the fence about it, or if you've been thinking I'll get to it later, just do me a favor, do my blood pressure a favor, and maybe go for it sooner rather than later. It would be so amazing for us to get kind of to where we need to get financially, like to get to our goal, maybe even before the week is over, and then we can just like all enjoy this together, as opposed to me waking up with night terrors that we're not going to be able to actually make payroll each month. So if you've been kind of considering it, celebrate TBTL Independence Day with us today by going to that button on TBTL.net and donating whatever works for you. It's not about, you don't have to be donating at the highest level if that doesn't work for you. Any old thing would help and would be very appreciated.
Yes, and also just huge thanks to everybody who's donated so far.
We've absolutely.
We one thing that we're doing as a little thank you to people who donate is we're putting everybody's name on a little ticker that goes across TBTL.net. In fact, we started inputting some names last night, so not everybody's yet, but I don't know, maybe we have 80 names in there or something right now. And if you go to TBTL.net, you can see this ticker going across the screen. Just scroll down a little bit, and it's super cute. It turned out exactly how we want, and it's just a small little way of it's just a fun little thing that we can throw in there, and you can watch it tick by, and you can see if you can wait until your name crosses. And as we were entering those names yesterday, we just saw so many familiar names of people who've been with us for such a long time, and we of course love our long-time listeners as well as our new listeners, but just a huge thanks to everybody who's been with us for so long, who has stepped up again. And of course we have folks who've stepped up doubly and even triply this time around, because they know it's so important. So I just want to, as we continue to ask for support, also acknowledge the gratitude that we have.
That's actually really important too. Yeah, we don't want to gloss over all the people that have been doing incredible stuff already and rallying each other online and inspiring each other to donate and upping their stuff and all of that. So thank you very much.
Your stuff.
Your reward for all this will be, I'm going to force a lunchbox upon you the next time I see you. I'm going to start carrying these around the streets of Portland. You know the rules. We've been clear. If you see us out in the wild, you have to identify yourself, and you have to take a lunchbox.
And you have to take a lunchbox, and you will be rewarded by Jeff Tweedy in heaven.
That's right.
That's the important thing to remember.
It is easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than for
Jeff Tweedy to put a string on his guitar.
That's what's so fun. That's what's like so funny and fun about my mom, though. By the way, she both believes in a very literal heaven and a very literal hell, and also is laughing her ass off when I say I'm praying to Jeff Tweedy. Like she's like, she can hang. She's a fun hang.
Yeah,
she's a fun hang.
Definitely.
That's Susie B. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. We are going to be back here tomorrow, back in this very basement, with another live stream for you. So please do join us for that. In the meantime, have a great 4th of July. Stay safe. Stay cool. Go Mariners. I feel good saying that again. 3 in a row, baby.
Feels good.
Go Mariners. And please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to all.
The most rewarding part was when he gave me my money.
Power out.